Hi everyone, Lynn here for Lindy Stamp Gang. Today I have another project share for you. It is a tray, and it's not one of the fancy ones. I actually purchased this at my local Goodwill. I think it held some toys in it at one time or another. But basically I just painted it white, and then I used both Starburst sprays in Cockle Bells Coral and Azurci Asters along the edges. I also did some molding paste around the edges as well, and then sprayed over top. My background are papers from 7 Dot Studio that I stenciled through with Liquitex modeling paste, and then once everything was dry I went ahead and sprayed my backgrounds. And as you can see, I didn't spray everywhere. On the backgrounds I used only the Azurci Asters. Once everything was dry, I glued everything in place and started adding embellishments and trims. A little bit of lace here and there that I received from Flying Unicorn. I also have some different flowers here. I have some Jolie's flowers. I have some I Am roses. I have flowers from Prima right down here. And this is a handmade flower that I will share with you in another video. I also added some resin and fences in 2 different spots from Doris, as well as some chipboard from Dusty Attic, I believe is what it is. These leaves are velvet leaves that came on the flower stem that I purchased with these flowers, and it did take very nicely to the sprays that I used on here, which in this particular case was the Azurci Asters. You can see the shine that I have going on. The love word is Prima Mechanicals, and once again all the resin pieces are all from Prima. So basically what I'm here to share with you today is how I made my ribbon, and some of it is more tattered than others. It's a little bit different look. It's something that I've used as background before in various different projects, including one for CHA. So I want to share with you how easy this technique is to make this little ribbon here. So I'll get set up and I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so here I have a piece of duck cloth. I've used canvas in the past, the yardage goods. I've also have done this technique on a little bit lighter weight canvas as well. I haven't tried it on lightweight fabric, so I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I have an idea for another video. So let me show you how to go about doing the ribbon that I made. So I have the duck cloth. I'm going to go ahead and use my well-loved Prima stencil, and it's full of gesso, so you can see that I've used this one many times over again. And I'm also using some golden, I don't know if you can see that or not, golden gesso. And all I'm going to do is just scratch it on, I guess, with my good old Starbucks gift card. So I'm just going to take some out, and I'm just going to start smearing it around. And I'm going to cover the whole thing, including around the edges, because I want as much fabric as I can have. And I'm just going to do this all over. I think you get the idea of the smearing of the gesso, so I'll just finish this here. I'm not overly concerned about how heavy it is in some areas and how light it is in other areas, and as well because it is gesso and it's far more liquid than molding paste or modeling paste or what have you. It's not going to be a perfect look, and it is going to wind up underneath parts of the stencil, and that's okay. We're not looking for perfection, we're just looking for a background. Excuse me. So I'll just finish that so you can get the idea of what I'm doing here. I'm trying to make not too many lines in it, even though it kind of can't be helped with the gift card. And that's it. Easy peasy, right? So, let me wipe my hands down, and then I'll go ahead and set this aside to dry. And of course, because it's video, I have a finished piece for you. And here's my dried piece of duck cloth. So you can see the flowers, and you can see that in spots there's less background showing, and that's because the gesso did sneak underneath. And all I did was I took my Cockle Bells coral and just sprayed it. And in some spots it's heavier than others, and once again, that's okay. I'm not concerned about that. I think I'm getting to the end of this bottle here. Let me find the little knobby. Okay, we're going to go with that. So I don't know if you can see or not, right in here, it's a lot lighter than it is around the edges. And we're good with that. So let me take some paper towel, and I'm just going to remove the excess spray. And while we're at it, oh, and I don't have any baby wipes here. Once you've removed the excess, you want to go ahead and just run a baby wipe over top, and that's going to remove a little bit more of the color on the gesso. If you like the look, the mottled look of it on the gesso, you can go ahead and leave it. It's going to add a little bit more shine to it. So go ahead and set that aside to dry. And my finished piece, which as you can see I've already cut through, whoops, this is the dried piece. And in some spots you can see that I didn't remove all the color, and then other spots I did. And what I did, once my piece was dry, I went ahead and cut it into strips. Now, I did start off with the wider strips, but preferred the look of the narrower ones. And that's all I did. These are about 1/2 inch wide. I'm going to take this one out of the way. And I just basically folded them in half. And in half again, just made some loops, wired it together. And once it was all wired together, I took my ribbon and just scrunched it around so that I would fray the edges where there's no gesso. And you can do it as much as you want or as little as you want. And that's it. That's basically how I made my ribbon. So go ahead and try this for your backgrounds. You'll find it's a really easy technique, and if you use more than one color on your background, you'll achieve some really nice looks. And of course you can do that with any stencil. Obviously I would recommend a stencil that's got a lot of open work, because you're going to see a lot of the gesso. So this is my little ribbon. I hope you enjoyed this technique. As always, make sure you leave a comment, and thank you for watching. Once again, have a great day. Thank you.